Hey kids, welcome back to Uncle Fezzy's Mad Lab. Well, if you watched the last video, you're going to want to see this one. Why not, right? So, what have I been up to? Wow. First thing I've been up to is I've officially run through 5,000 sheets of fucking paper. And 4 ink cartridges. Alright? No, yeah, 5,000 sheets of paper, which is actually 10,000 sheets, or 10,000 prints. Or printings is two-sided, right? And I got books. Now, these aren't actually all the books that I've printed. As a matter of fact, and you know who you are, you already got copies of my books. The first 3. So there's, what is there, 6 books here? Yeah, there's 6 printed books here. These are the first 3 books in the series. So this is going to be like a plug video, right? The plug video is for my book, Love Letters. And it's not just one book, it's 5 books. It's a series. Love Letters is the first one. This is the introduction book to the characters, the wife, Dr. Karen and Jana, and the little brown dog. And it follows their adventures in a post-apocalyptic world, a post-apocalyptic alien invasion world. 3 middle-aged women finding their way. I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say there's a good bit of Heart of Darkness in this. And not a lot of aliens, shockingly, right? The aliens actually come up in book 5.5. So I have 5 books. The books go Love Letters, which is book 1, Hope, Faith, and Loyalty, which is book 2. Actually, Hope, Faith, Loyalty. There's no and in there. The actual name of the book is Hope, Faith, Loyalty, and the Queens of the Mountain. And then book 3, which is called The Black Dragon, book 4 is called Vengeance for All, and book 5 is A Day of Remembrance. Book 4 and book 5 are still in edit. My editor's a little slow. She's got a job, right? So that's it. There's my books. They're all printed, and I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the printing that I've done. Goddamn later. And a couple of different projects. So I really wanted to 3D print a cover, or really wanted to 3D print covers. I can do and did multiple traditional book covers. So these are cardboard with cloth. These are, if you watched, this one's actually, this is a traditional sewn binding. The tipped in pages, of course, this page which is supposed to be glued to this one is not glued to that one. Oopsie. This one is an early prototype. It's actually, I think this is probably the second book that this is probably the second book that I bound. The other ones I've given away to friends to read. Still don't have an agent yet. I also did some softbacks, some soft covers. These are actually sewn also. If you watched the video previous to this one, you saw how I fixed my sewing screw up. These are glued and sewn, but the problem is it's a little too close to the center. So I actually fixed that. So, but you can still bind, pull it open. These are, I don't want to say throwaways, but they're kind of throwaways. These are for friends I don't like. And then I got a little snazzy with book 3 here, The Black Dragon. I want to do like Black Album, so that's that. And then I went and bought some fancy paper to make a spine for this one. Of course it's crooked. And for whatever reason, I glued this one together and then went away to Florida, and I didn't put it in a press, and it got a little bit wonky. So again, freebies to friends. There ain't gonna be any more freebies too, by the way, kids, because it's costing me about $10 to $15 to print each one of these, not to mention the amount of time that it takes. So this is a 3D printed cover. So what I did was, I'm not going to do a whole video on how I 3D printed the covers. It's pretty simple. This was actually a failed cover. This was supposed to be the cover of book 3, and I was going to screw it together. I could still probably use this if I wanted to, but it's also a little oversized by about probably about 1/4 of an inch, but it doesn't really matter, other than it'd just be a little wonky. This one's way oversized, and I still forget why. Oh yeah, because I can't do fucking math. I forgot to take into consideration the thickness. There's about a tenth of an inch over for the lip here, so I put a lip on them. I don't know what I was thinking. This one's way too thick. They have vinyl bindings. It's pleather. And then this one is printed. This one has an edge. You can see it's got an edge on it. I'm kind of up in the air on that one. This one, book 3 here. Again, the Black Album. This one, what I did was I glued the cover to a piece of cardstock. It's another book 3 cover. This one's 3-dimensional. I'm having trouble getting my printer to iron properly. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but it's because it's infuriating. But you can see there's like, it's ironed kind of, and then some spots it's not ironed. I went through everything I could figure out to try to get it to smooth out, and it's still acting a little fucky. So again, I'm probably going to use these because why not? Again, these are freebies for friends. The sound in the background is the 3D printer running because I have been printing a bunch of cool things. One of the things that I printed was a square to cut the hardboard with. It's the same exact thickness as the hardboard, so it makes it nice. The only problem is it's a little. You need to make another one. It's a little bit more stiffer. Stiffy. Yeah, so I actually really like these covers, which is this cover. Each one of these is every single one of these prints, every single one of the printings here is literally a one of a kind, because I've tried something different on every single iteration of the print. So over here in this press, I have a copy of book 2 that I am going to revisit the perfect binding. I figured out what I did wrong, other than printing 4 signatures at a time and then not properly gluing them together. I revisited it, I fixed it. It's bookbinder is a bit of a deflugely. Can't quite figure out what's wrong with it, because like this one here, so this is book 3, it left a huge margin at the top, which I didn't want, and there's like very little margin at the bottom. Oh, I also cut this one crooked in my guillotine. I went and bought a Chinese guillotine press. Chinese are going to have French Revolution anytime soon, I'll tell you that much. It's not the greatest guillotine cutter, but it works as long as there's nothing in the way, especially your fingers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this type of cover where it's glued to this piece. I used spray contact adhesive like I used to use in the body shop to glue the paper to the PLA, and I'm not gonna lie, it ain't coming apart. I tried to glue. I tried to glue. Oh, this is spray adhesive. It's not coming apart. I tried multiple different types of glue, and the 77 spray adhesive worked the best. What else? Oh, this one over here in the press is called. This one is book 3, and I did it's called a French. I don't know. There's no strap in it, so some of these have a piece of strap in. Well, actually, this one does. sew this strapping here into the spine of the book, and you can see it actually pretty clearly on this one where it's got the strapping. So this book, I don't want to say can't fall apart, but the paper is probably going to degrade, and the plastic's probably going to degrade before the pages fall out of it. They won't fall out like, you know, old paperbacks. It has a very satisfying closure, by the way. I like that. Yeah, so that's it. If you have any interest in the books, you know, drop me a line. You know who you are if you know who I am. And I'll see if I can get one out to you, maybe. Like I said, I gave a couple away to friends. Shout out to Ted and Jordan, who actually read the book on e-readers. God bless you. Because I tried to read it on an e-reader and I couldn't do it. I couldn't even read it on my goddamn iPad. These are all 20-point plus font. So even those of us that are having age-related macular degeneration can kind of read it. You look at it from this way, the font's pretty big, so don't be afraid that it's thick. I'm a little worried. It's 113,000 words for book 1, 108,000 words for book 2, and then ironically, book 2 is 600 pages, book 1 is 576. Where those extra 40 pages came from, I don't know. Other than possibly the way I formatted it, no big deal. Not really, I don't want to say I'm not paying for these. This project's already cost me well over $1,000 fucking dollars. There. No, hopefully I get picked up, right? So I won't have to pay for any more of these. My goal is to streamline the 3D printed covers. I really like the 3D printed covers over this style of binding and covering. I don't mind sewing them, but it just makes them, kind of makes them too thick. Oh, the other thing I did was I went and bought more paper. So I ran out of my three-hole paper. So if you have a copy that has a hole in it, you've got the absolute 100% first run. So when your grandchildren clean out your house after you die, they'll find this copy of a weird book with a hole in it. You know. So that's it. Yeah, I don't think I have a whole lot else to say. This is again limited, super duper limited production. I have about 4,000 more sheets of paper. I went out and bought good paper, which made a shocking difference in the quality of the prints. But the ink cartridges the toner cartridges are starting to cost money. The paper, you know, a case of paper is $70. It's not even a full case. It's 2,000 sheets of 28 weight paper, which is actually a little thick for what I'm doing. You know, that's running me some money. So this project's actually starting to cost me money, so therefore these aren't going to be free. So that's it. Thanks for watching.